Hey guys, Halina here, and today I'm going to be discussing Disney's new strategy involving the live-action Mulan, so stay tuned. Okay, so Disney has finally decided to stop delaying the live-action Mulan and just release it on Disney Plus on September 4th, guys. That's the date. Except for in countries that have yet to get Disney Plus, live action Mulan will still be being released in theaters for them. But of course, there's a catch. And the catch is it will cost an added $30 US on top of your Disney Plus subscription. Now, notice how I said US. And that's because that is the U.S. price. The price varies depending on where you are in the world. For Canada, it's an added $35. Now, the U.S. and Canada prices are the only ones I'm aware of. So, if you're wondering what the cost is in your area, you can honestly probably search Mulan on Disney Plus, and it'll say like coming September 4th for this price. Or you may have already received an email from Disney Plus stating how you can get the live action Mulan. Yeah. So, if you're a family of 4 or a family of more than 4, this may seem like a complete and total win-win situation. I mean, you get to watch the movie from the comfort of your own home. You get to have as much snacks and popcorn and drinks and everything else that you can imagine. And it works out cheaper than, or about the same price maybe, as going to see it in the movie theater. And then, of course, there's the added bonus that it's essentially yours. You can watch it as many times as you want, as long as you maintain your Disney Plus subscription. Yeah. But if you are by yourself or only have like maybe a couple people in your household, it becomes rather difficult to justify the very large price tag that comes with watching the live action Mulan. Especially if you're somebody that doesn't get snacks and drinks when you go to the movie theaters, like all of a sudden, like, it's become more expensive than going to the movies. So, you really have to look at, your preference. Do you want to watch it early or do you want to hold off until it's free? I mean, everybody's different. So, I can see, though, why Disney Plus has decided to put this rather large price tag on Mulan, because they have to make their money back somehow. And they don't know whether you're by yourself watching it or whether you're having a whole watch party for the whole entire block. They have no way of knowing. So I guess $30 US is their middle ground. I don't know. But that seems to be the case. But I want to talk about whether or not live action Mulan is a smart option for them. Is this the right movie to test this new format out on? Live action remakes are hit and miss. There was a time where Disney had the sequel curse, where Disney would pump out sequels to movies just to, keep milking on that success. And now it seems we're living in an age of the live-action remake curse, where all of Disney's classics seem to be getting remade into live-action versions. And sometimes it's a hit. Most of the time it's a miss. So, live-action Mulan, is this a good idea for them to be charging $30 US? I don't know. Now, the live-action Mulan does have a lot going for it in the sense that it seems like it may be familiar but yet different, which is a good thing. But the fact is, it is a live action remake. And that just might be what turns fans off of paying an added any price to their Disney Plus subscription. So, then it becomes the million-dollar question of what movie should Disney be testing this format out on? And it just so happens that Disney has yet another candidate. Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow is delayed all the way to November 6th, 2020. Which, in turn, has delayed every other MCU movie. Like, all of them got pushed back. They've delayed every MCU movie to put Black Widow in theaters. And given the fact that they pushed Black Widow to the eternal spot and delayed every other MCU movie, leads me to believe that whatever their plans are post-Infinity Saga, Black Widow must kick off Phase 4. Even though it's a midquel. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know why Black Widow is the one that needs to kick off Phase 4. Believe me, I'm happy about it, but I'm also confused. If the world doesn't go back to any sort of semblance of normal by November, MCU fans could see yet another delay of all these movies. But by releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus for a premium price, there's less delays for future movies. And if it is successful and the world does not go back to normal anytime soon, then we could see this format roll out with essentially all the MCU movies until the world goes back to normal. That way, we don't have to wait forever for all these movies. Because whether you're waiting for Black Widow or you're waiting for Thor Love and Thunder, you're waiting for a long time because everything is getting delayed. Now, there are diehard fans that just don't care about the Black Widow movie. And they probably wouldn't be paying any sort of additional money to see it. But there is the more likely chance that you would get MCU fans paying to see Black Widow. So, Disney, one check mark in there. Another reason is that there is very little new Marvel content on Disney Plus. Falcon and Winter Soldier has been delayed to I don't even know when. WandaVision, I believe, last I heard, was still coming out in December, but who knows? But either way, there's very little Marvel content on Disney Plus. Sure, we got all the old things like, Agent Carter and all the other MCU movies and, Inhumans and all the old Marvel stuff we got. And that's great. But in terms of new stuff, we have Marvel Hero Project, which really isn't technically a Marvel show or movie. It walks a thin line being Marvel. But that's all we got. So take it or leave it, I guess. Now, by releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus, that might just be the incentive to bring in the Marvel fans that have been waiting on subscribing to Disney Plus until the originals are dropped. People are waiting for Falcon and Winter Soldier, for WandaVision, for She-Hulk, for What If, for... There's a whole bunch of them. I don't remember them all off the top of my head. But people are waiting to subscribe to Disney Plus for these Disney Plus originals to drop. So, bring in Black Widow, bring in some more Marvel fans. And another reason that it should be Black Widow instead of Mulan is that there's a spoiler culture with Marvel fans. We as an audience want to see these Marvel movies as soon as possible because we don't want it spoiled for us. There's so many unknowns when it comes to Marvel movies, and we don't want to be walking down the street and overhearing somebody's conversation about, the latest Marvel movie, and we didn't see it, and now we just had it spoiled for us. Live action Mulan may surprise us and give us some, new details and new, plots and stuff like that. But realistically, it probably won't. It's a live action remake of an animated movie that we all basically seen, and if we haven't, it's on Disney+. So, realistically, there's no real spoilers that would come with a live action Mulan where there would be with Black Widow. And that might just be the incentive to get people to pay the added money on their Disney Plus subscription because they don't want to get spoiled. They want to see it. They don't want to wait for it to become free with their Disney Plus subscription because then they would get spoiled. And honestly, live action Mulan, a lot of people are probably going to sit there and say, you know what? I'm just going to wait for it to come free on Disney Plus. And it will. Disney Plus has shown that. I will post a picture of what it looks like when you search Mulan on Disney Plus. It'll be somewhere on the screen. And it says that before it becomes available to Disney Plus subscribers. So, yeah, that's a big thing with that. So, I want to talk a little bit about what would turn people off of paying any added dollar value for any movie. Because we talked about why people may not pay to see Mulan, why Black Widow would be Disney's smarter strategy. But realistically, COVID-19 has not only affected people's health, it's affected their way of life. Suddenly, people lost their jobs. Yeah, sure, there are people that are fortunate enough to be able to work from home. And they still have their jobs and they're still getting a paycheck. But a lot of people lost their jobs. They don't have their jobs. They're not working. And they may have a job waiting for them when things get back to normal. But a lot of businesses and everything, especially the smaller businesses, have had to shut down completely. Meaning that there is a lot of people who don't have jobs waiting for them. They are facing a financial crisis because they're not getting income, but they still have to pay bills. They have to pay rent, they have to pay water, electricity, all of that. So, $30, $35, however much it is, I'm sure would find better use for people in a financial crisis than paying for a movie on a streaming service that they're already paying for. So that's the big key thing in all of this is, yes, I realize Disney wants to make their money back with Mulan. So they're charging a pretty hefty price. But there is a financial crisis looming for a lot of people. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to maintain their Disney Plus subscription without having to worry about paying an added fee to watch a movie. So, yeah, I get it from Disney's point of view, but also this could very easily backfire on just Disney as a whole, because I know a lot of people that are struggling right now, and they're like, I don't even think I'm going to be able to keep the Disney Plus subscription because I got to feed myself and my kids and everything like that. So I got to keep a roof over their head. I got to make sure that they have running water. So yeah, Disney Plus charging an added fee for movies may not be the best strategy for them at this point. However, once things start to get back to some semblance of normal, hopefully it will. I mean, we're hoping here. Maybe it'll become, a new strategy altogether. But right now, I think this could very easily backfire. So, there is no doubt that Disney will be keeping an eye on how this whole system is rolling out with live action Mulan, and no doubt in my mind that it will affect choices they make in the future. Yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Are you guys going to be paying however much it costs extra in your country to be, watching live action Mulan? Or are you just going to wait for it to become free? Would you rather pay this for Black Widow? Would you rather see it with a different movie? I'm really curious to hear all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my latest videos. Follow me on all the socials. The link is in the description down below. And I will see you all in another video. Bye, guys.